What's good, YouTube? Roy here, and today I'm gonna show you how I made this cover art for Sky the Presence. Yeah, this cover art is inspired by the old Chief Keef. My bad. Old Gucci Mane style, the old Gucci style. Yeah, this cover is inspired by that, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna show you how I made it. But I can still show you how the old covers used to look like. Let me open them up real quick. The old Gucci Kid 8 style. So this is how they used to look like. So yeah, this is inspired by that. Yeah, in the DJ Foreign Money style. Yeah, not his style per se, but yeah, he's a pioneer in this art style. So yeah, so first things first, we're gonna start off with the house, the background house, the crib. So yeah, so this is the picture I had initially. This is the image I had. Let me show you real quick. This is it, but it did not have a ground. It didn't have a ground. So let me show you. This is how it looks like. So to get the other part of the ground, I did this. So I selected the patch tool, and then I took out this part, the grass part, the grass foliage part. Pressed Command J, and that will copy. So I did this like Command J, copy it. So I did this all the way throughout to fill the white part. So after I did that, this is what I got. That. So like to make it look more real, more accurate, more real, more realistic, I went to the spot healing brush tool. Yeah, and I started and continue. And I started pressing, like brushing the random parts where I felt like they didn't look real enough. So that's what I was doing. My PC. Yeah, that's what I was doing. You can do that, or you can use the clone stamp tool. So I'll just get it size up. You can get the size up by like pressing these arrows. I'll show you on the screen. So after that, you press Alt to select a source where you want to get the clone from, like the portion, like yeah. So you press it, and then you come, like, if I want to make this, like to remove this, to hide this part, so I'll just do this. Yeah, I don't know why it's oh my bad, I was on the wrong layer. So I'll just do this. Yeah, and it will, like, that's it. So you can use the clone stamp or the spot healing brush, either one that you're free with. So yeah, it does that. You can see, like, if you look closely, this is what it does. So yeah, that saved me a lot of energy, a lot of work, and a lot of time. So secondly, after that, I had some adjustment layers to the house, and then I made a copy, like I merged the whole layers, like these layers, this crib layer, like I merged it into one flat layer, like I flattened it. So how do we do that? You just press Control Alt Shift E. It will make a new layer for you. Yeah, And after you make that new layer, which is this one, which is this BG copy layer, copy 12, you just go to filter, blur, average, and then yeah, you'll be done. And then you set the blending mode to hard light. So this is before. You see, like, it's looking blue, green, like so bland and plain. And this is after. So I was going for that warmer look. So yeah, I can just show you the curves. This is what I did. I made the shadows stronger here. Same thing. This curve leaned in to a higher contrast level. So yeah, I was done with that. And then I applied a plugin. So that plugin is called Topaz Clean 3. So I'll just show you how the creep looked like after the plugin. So after applying the plugin, so this is it. Look, the difference is there, but it's subtle. So it will cartoonize the whole image, like the crib. So let me show you. Let me switch off this layer, this cartoonized layer. So as you can see, yeah, it's looking a bit not sharp, blurry, but after using the plugin, yeah, this is how it looks. So let me show you real quick how the plugin looks like. Let me launch it. You'll get this dialog box, and then yeah, this is the plugin. So it has some already pre-made presets. The ones that I like using are cartoon detailed and cartoon detailed sharp, and then you can just play around with the adjustments, with the strength threshold for them to see what you really fuck with, what you really like. So after that, we are done. Voila. So next thing was some adjustment layers, but these adjustment layers were levels layer, but this levels layer leaned in heavily to the shadows. So this side of the slider, not any other side. So a number I like using for strong shadows when I use levels is 0.47. For the highlights I use 2.1 and then 116, but for the shadows always like majority of the work is 0.47 and 116 on this side. So this is the first shadow layer, this is the second one. So these are the shadow layers, you know. So yeah, I already had in mind what I want. Like I wanted the cover to look something like Glock 40 Spurs took the biggest risk album art. So yeah, so before even doing this, I haven't mentioned the sky. So this is the sky, as you can see. So this is it's an evening sky. Yeah, so I just got a random image from, like, I don't know which website. 2 random images actually. So one, the OG one is this, but I added another sunset image on top of it and I masked it. So this is the mask for it. So what I had in mind was like a chopper, lights, the cop lights, cop helicopters lighting over like the compound, this whole crib. So, and I wanted the chopper to be on this side, so I knew the light source would be on this side. I wanted my subject to be here. So yeah, I did that, added some brushes, some clouds using a cloud brush, but this was a layer using these were clouds which I used a cloud brush for them. So this was in the gray color, this was set to orange. Like I just sampled a random part of the image. So this, and then I went to brushes, which you can press B, and then I searched up cloud brushes. Yeah, cloud brushes. Yeah, and I just used them. So I can just press I again to sample the color which I want. So this is the orange one. Then I press B, and can just add the brush like manually. So yeah, that's what I did basically. So this is before and this is after. The difference is there, but it's subtle. So for the other layer, same thing. Yeah, same thing. And then I added some trees. So the tree, I used a tree brush, like it's part of a like larger pack of brushes, but it's there. So tree brush, this one. So I set the color to black because it's the evening. You can't see like far objects from afar. You cannot see them obviously. So yeah, that's what I did. And then I brushed over it. So as you can see, that's how it looks like. So it looked so realistic being at the back, being obscured by this house. So, and I was done. And then I added a light pole, and I added glow to the light pole. So how do you add glow to the light pole? You can just like create a new layer on top of the light pole, and then use the default soft round brush, and then low it size, set the foreground color to white, and then you just apply it and set the blending mode to linear dodge. But this will only work if this, let's say this light pole has anything in white. If it's dark, it won't work. Like if you do this, and then like it won't look natural. If you, how do I put it? Hold on. If I wait, let me erase this. So if I do this to a dark part of the light pole, this won't work, bro. So it won't look natural. It won't look natural at all. But if I do it to a white part of the image, and then set the blending mode to linear dodge, add or screen or linear dodge, you can use any. It will look way natural. So yeah, that's what I did for the light pole. And then let me show you. So I already knew where my chopper is coming from, but I did not use these shadows like instantly, like nah. I first composited, and then I applied the adjustments, of which are the shadows here. So let me show you. Oh, and I added some more bullets to the house, like it looks like it was shot down during a raid or something. Like, yeah, so these are the bullets. They're just PNGs, random PNGs from the internet. I put them, and then I added perspective wrap to them. So perspective wrap, you can just access it over here. Perspective wrap, yeah, that one. So let me switch off the perspective wrap for this, so that you can see how it looked like. So it looked ugly as hell, so I had to apply perspective for it to look actually like it's on the wall, for it. So yeah, that's what I did. And then I added the trap Halisi text. This is a subtle touch. I don't know if anyone noticed, but yeah, I did it. So this is the text I added. So as you can see, it's not in perspective, so I applied perspective wrap to it. So yeah, you can apply perspective wrap or distort, so but I prefer perspective wrap. So yeah, that's what I did. Let me switch it. I'll show you later. I have another layer for it where it's done. So which is this, I won't even show you later. It's here. So this is how it looks like now. So I added some brushes to it. I masked it with a grunge brush so that it can look like hard, like worn out on the wall. It can look realistic, you know. And then perspective, as always, as usual, for it to actually be on the wall. So yeah, and I decolored it. Like I added a black layer on top of it. A plain layer, brushed it with black on top of it, so that it can look like actually it's dark on that region. And you'll see that later when I have the shadow layers. Enabled for this. So yeah. Then I added the chopper. Here's the chopper, and then the lens flare. I just used a random brush for the lens flare. Yeah, random lens flare brush. Yeah. So you can see the ring around. You can see it. You can see the ring. So for this, the secret is like when you're closer. Let me put it. So this is how it looks like. So when I am closer, like to this region, the brush will be smaller. So when it's smaller, it means like it will be more stronger. Like yeah. So you can see this how it looks like, and then yeah. So I was done with that, and then some adjustment layers for the chopper. So let me switch this off. So you can see yeah, and this layer is becoming too infamous. So if you see it, just know like it was the whole image flattened, and then I applied average blind, set the blend mode to hard light, so that the chopper can blend to the atmosphere. So yeah, the difference is there, but it's subtle. So I applied this shadow to simulate where light is coming from. So of course light is coming from this point, not at the back of the chopper. So the shadows are justified. The shadows being here, the shadows being in this region are justified. Like yeah, it makes sense. So the light is coming from there, and then it's illuminating this whole place. So yeah, I was done with that, and then I added a swatch dude. Yeah, he was not complete. I brushed him off, I think so. Nah. So for him, adjustment layers. So let me show you real quick. I actually applied camera raw and toppers in the toppers. So for every layer you'll see, for every object you'll see on the image, it must have the toppers layer, the cartoon effect, like the toppers effect, I mean, for it to be cartoonized. So yeah, I've switched it off. This is how it looks like. This is how it looks like. It looks lame as hell. You can see it looks like mid, bro. It looks mid as hell. So I switched it on. This is the dialog box. I switch it on. It's loading up. This is how it looks like. So and then I applied camera raw to him. Let me show you. So I applied camera raw to him. He looked like the whole image for the SWAT officer. It was so blue. So this is how it looked like. It was so blue. So I wanted him to look a little bit more warmer. So I added that. So this is the before, this is the after, and I was done. Yeah, cancel. Yeah, and then I added highlights to him. Did I really add this? Nah, I didn't add highlights to him over here. We did not I did not do that. So for here I just added shadows, and for the shadows you already know the level is 0.47 as I've said. So the only thing is I mask the shadow to where I want it to be. So let me switch it off. You see, so I want it to be here on his torso and arms and where the gun is. So I masked it. The level is 0.47. I use this for like when I'm shading. Okay, when I'm shading my subjects, my objects, I use this level, and for the highlights I use 210, 116. So but this is not there. This is non-existent. I did not use it. So I added another shadow layer. Yeah, and then I added a harsh shadow layer. So this makes it, anything you brush on, like any object, it's completely blackened. So this is the cover I use. So yeah, And this is the workflow for pretty much every object I've added to this composition. This is the workflow. So I won't even repeat myself that much. Yeah, and I added this layer to make him a little bit desaturated. I wanted him to look warmer but desaturated, you know, so for him to match the environment. So yeah, that's what I did. And then I flattened the whole image, set the blending mode to average, yeah, blah blah blah, you know the rest. So this actually warmed up the layer, like the layer looked more realistic and warmer compared to its surrounding. So yeah, I was done with that. And then I added a copca. Yeah, I added a copca. Same thing with the shadows. Yeah, same thing with the shadows. Literally, this is what I was using. Of course, this can't have a highlight, you know. So I was just fucking around with the shadows. So these are the levels. Same 0.47255. And then I added a hue saturation layer. Yeah, I don't even know what it did actually. I don't think it even did anything. I don't remember. So yeah, and then the flattened layer image, the BG layer. I'll set the blur to average, blending mode to hard light. So this layer is actually important because it's the one that makes the change. It's the one that blends the object to the surrounding. So yeah, this is the layer that actually makes the change for me. So I was just applying it in every object I had. Yeah. And then so this is the layer. As you can see, it's so blue. Curves, levels. My fault. I selected the wrong layer. And then yeah, I added shadow to the copca at this edge. It will all fall in place, you'll just see. And then I added a glow to the lights. So and set the blending mode to linear dodge. So you can just select bring for brush, sample red at that point, and then go back to brush, and then increase the brush size, and yeah, do that. So you can see that's how it looks like. And then set the blending mode to linear dodge, not normal. So on normal it looks so bad, but on linear dodge looks way better, looks way realistic. For the blue light, same. White light, same. So yeah, for the side lights, this light did the same. Yeah, nothing really else. And then I added a dead man, somebody's body. Yeah, here it is. So for here, the main thing you need to know is like to just make sure he looks like he's actually on the ground. So here you can use here this is so basic for every designer. So to make sure like he looks like he's on the ground, what you wanna do is use the grass brush. I've used it a lot of times, so it's pretty much common knowledge. So yeah, that's what I did. And then I added the BG layer. So this is the before. See how he looks blue, but after adding this he looks warmer, and he looks like he belongs actually to the background. So yeah, so if you don't know how to mask him, you can just press this button and it will show the layer mask, and then go to a grass brush. So should I use this? Can I use this? I think I can use it. So lower its size. So if I set the foreground color to black, this is the foreground color, to black, it will actually hide. So yeah, so it hides, yeah, something like that. But I used a different grass brush, but you get what I mean. Yeah, so and then I added adjustment layers to it and added intense shadow adjustment layer, because I knew the light was coming from this place. So this region below his body, this region was supposed to be darker. So that's the before and this is the after. So yeah, I was done. And then I added a stack of cocaine and I made sure to darken this region because the light won't hit there. It's coming from this way, it will hit at this top. So I did not add a highlight layer, I just added a shadow layer and masked it. So for the shadow layer, the levels, it's 0.47. It's a levels layer set at 0.47, 255. So wait. Yeah, I added a highlight layer, yeah. Set 210, 116. For the shadow, 0.46 or 0.47. And then now for the subject, So initially this is the subject. So yeah, if you peep closely, bruh, we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do on him. So I'll go over real quick what I did, and then yeah. So for this I think I applied topaz. Yeah, I applied topaz. So here you can see it's the OG layer with the topaz. So after applying topaz, for the skin, what you wanna do is go to blur, this blur tool, and then you wanna start brushing over him. So let me hide this layer. Yeah, so rasterize. So you wanna start brushing over him. So you just brush to remove the artifacts. What artifacts am I talking about? I'm talking about this, like you can see these little contours, these small contours. Yeah, if you check closely, they are not on his hands, they are not on his skin, on his eyes. Yeah, I used the blur tool and polished, but yeah, that's what I did. So he has a tutorial for that. I'm gatekeeping that shit. I won't tell you, bruh. I'm not showing you. You think I'll give you the source? I'm gatekeeping it, bruh. I'm not showing it to you. So yeah, I was done with that, and then I added the BG layer. So you see here, I named it BG average, so to blend him to the background. So yeah, this yeah, and also I added a camera raw before I even go to this. So camera raw, this is the before and this is the after. So this is the before. He looks much cooler, paler, doesn't even look like much in the environment, but after adding it, he's warmer, so he actually looks like he blends there. So then I added a BG average. We'll just call it that, BG average layer, but you know the science behind it. Curves to actually expose so this curves layer actually expose the highlights, and it shows the midtone. It exposes the highlights, the midtones, and the shadows. So I'll know where to accentuate the highlights and the midtones. So yeah, I added another levels layer, exposure layer. So I added this because of the cop light. I knew the cop light was gonna come from here, so I added them. Like, yeah, you get the gist. And then I added dodge and burn. So these are the dodge and burn layers. So I'll link a video to the dodge and burn tutorial. I can't explain it. I run the action. It's actually an action. So I just run the action. It creates a new dodge layer, and I start brushing over my subject. So the dodge accentuates the highlights, the burn accentuates the shadows. It makes the shadows strong. So yeah, that's what I did. Why the hell is it not with? So as you can see, it accentuates the highlights. Yeah, pretty much that's it. So Added another dodge layer, burn layer, burn layer. Yeah, and then I used too many levels adjustment layers to make sure he matches with the he actually looks like he's illuminated by the cop car light. So here I'll be forced to show you guys the light that I'm talking about, for you guys to see what I'm actually talking about. So this is the light. Yeah, so that's it, that's the light. So for him to look like it's this region to look like it's actually illuminated, yeah, we used these levels adjustment layers. There are so many of them. So for the shadows, for the highlights, it's 210. For the shadows, it's 0.47. So these are the highlights. So wherever you see 210, 116, the highlights. So yeah, that's the highlight. Highlight, shadow, shadow. So this is basically dodge and burn again, all over again, but the difference is this can actually work on the skin and the clothes. The one that I was using, the OG dodge and burn layers, they only work for the skin as far as my knowledge is concerned, not for the clothes. So yeah, these are the layers. I'm just gonna enable them so you can already see, because the light is here, we'll have to make this part darker because the light can't get there, the cop lights cannot get there. So yeah, so we used here we just used a solid color brush and brushed it over. So yes sir. Yeah, and we were done with that. And then I added some boxes, money stack, like in these covers, these are the normals, these are the norms, like majority of the times they are there. So yeah, it can be like gold stacks, yeah, cash, majority of the times cash. Yeah, so you can already tell what I'm talking about. So yeah, so I did the same here. Added a box layer for this region to be darker. I just did the same, added a levels layer and set the blending and set the level at 0.47255 for this part to be brighter, highlights to 10 because the light of course will hit that side. Yeah, and I was done with that. I did basically the same for each and every other object here. So for the briefcase I added that, did the same thing. For the TV I did the same thing. I just added the BST logo, this Blood, Sweat and Tears, that's the name of the album, so I added the logo there. Yeah, and then I just used a VHS texture on the back. So this texture, yeah, and then I masked it to the TV, to this boundary. Yeah, and then added the BST logo, Blood, Sweat and Tears. Yeah, and I was done with that. Yeah, this does not miss, this layer does not miss, bruh. It must be there. Added a money stack, of course, and then it also has adjustment layers. You can see, like, to paint the highlights, this region, we know the light can hit this region, so this region must be brighter than this other part. So you can see how, like, the layers are affecting the overall image, the overall layer of the money stack. So the levels are the same. For the highlights, 210, 2.10, shadows 0.46. Yeah. And then for the barbed wire, this is the shadow for the barbed wire. This is the barbed wire itself. So you might be asking, how did I get this shadow? The shadow is so easy. So just double click this barbed wire layer, go to drop shadow. Yeah, set it to black. You can lower the spread. Set it to black, actually. This is white. Yeah, lower the spread so it looks something like this. Press OK. Edit. Wait, image layer. Yeah, layer. New layer style. New layer. layer style, create layer, some aspects of the blah blah blah. If you press OK, it will make this shadow, it will make this layer. If you press OK, it will create this layer underneath this other layer. So yeah, for the barrel, same thing, same adjustment layers, nothing different. Yeah, then I added some rain. I felt like it was missing rain, you know. It should look like a rainy evening, you know. The cops have just invaded you. You're like, bruh, I surrender. I give up to 12. So yeah, I added some rain layer. It's actually an overlay, so I masked it to this region only, where the light is coming from. That's why it will become visible. So yeah, this other part, it's not there. I masked it. So you might be asking, but bro, Roy, this other part, it's like you can see this other part. So if you wanted to add this light, it means the focus should be on this region, yeah, right? So yeah, so we go back here. We go back here to the crib. The shadows. So this is how it looks like now. So actually it makes sense right now. So yeah, because if this part is dark, you can't see the rain. Even at night, when you're walking in the alley and you're looking at the street lamp and it's raining, you'll see the raindrops where the light is. In the darkness you can't. So I added the rain overlay. Yeah, I was done. I did another layer for the vignette to just mask, to darken, and I added this vignette layer, and it's actually not a vignette, it's just a normal layer. Set the brush foreground to black, and then I brushed it over this layer, this side, and it's clipped to this light from chopper layer. So I clipped it there and then brushed to hide a little bit of the light. Yeah, the difference is there, but it's subtle. I did an overall vignette, which is this, and then I forgot. I looked at the image and I was done, but I was like, nah, nigga, you forgot something. You forgot a little bit minor detail. So this is a dash. This is a cop car. These are lights from the car, so they must glow. And for the glow, don't always place the glow like behind the subject. Now, for it to look realistic, it must be on top, like, of the subject layer, which is at the bottom here. So yeah, and then I added a TV screen glow, which is this. So this is the before after. I was just sampling different colors from the TV. So if this is blue, I just sample it, create a new layer, use the brush foreground to this blue and brush it over, set the blending mode to linear dodge for the glow. So for any glow in any objects that you want, the blending mode should be linear dodge or screen. You'll achieve the glow. So, and then I added glow for the briefcase and the box, where at this intersection where they meet. At this intersection. Yeah. Oh, and another detail for the TV. Let me show you. Where's the TV? So this TV is on top of the box, right? So it must have a shadow. So of course, like, the shadow is there. Let me show you. Here it is. It must have a shadow. Every object. This briefcase too also has the shadow, but it's subtle. So I use the blend div to make the shadow subtle. Yeah. It must be there. Yeah. And then money stack here. What other thing? Yeah, and the rim lights. So these are the rim lights. So this is the before, this is the after. So rim lights, it's a choice, but for me it actually makes the image like 100% better. So I talked about how to apply rim lights on my previous video, so I don't think I'll talk about it again. Maybe for the newer viewers, bruh. For the newer viewers, like, rim lights are easy to make. So if I want this, because it's like the rim lights make the image, like the whole composition, like a little bit realistic, because we know light is coming from this side, so a little bit of it will reflect on the post. So if I switch it on and you check closely, you're like, damn, yeah, for real, yeah, he's right. So how do you make rim lights? There are actions for rim lights, bruh. There are so many things, but there are actions by noise works. You can get it, but you'll pay like $3 or $5, and I'm too broke for that shit. I'm broke right now, bruh. But I'll buy it soon. But I have a cheaper bootleg alternative. So you just create a new layer, press B for brush, and set the size to like 6 or 5 or 4. Press D to reset the color, the foreground and the background. Set the foreground to white, and then you zoom closely. Yeah, you zoom and then you press P for pen tool, and then you start penning. I don't know, tracing or what. Yeah, you start doing this over the edges. Then when you're done, you're satisfied, you press stroke path. Yeah, and this appears. So for you, like, to make it better, you can use the blend if. This black slider, you can just use it or play around with the white one. So as you can see here, it doesn't look like accurate to what we have here, probably because I've used a larger brush size 5, but now you get the gist of what I did. So that was a little long process. Yeah, and I was done with that. It was done. And then for the song title, so basically here you just type anything you want, like presented by Roy, Derrell, Trapalisi. You can use any font. I use Helvetica, so I use Helvetica. And then for the font, I'll hold on. Wait. Oh, wait. Yeah, for the font, I'll use Helvetica and use them as caps and bring them closer together. So this actually, yeah, you can use this. You'll use this to bring them closer together. So you can see this is like -100. So if I bring it to 0, yeah, it doesn't look good. So this is some source I was given by Saint months and months ago. Like for underground art, like many people like using like close, tight letters that are words that are so tightly close together. So that's what I used, and then I created a rectangle layer using this, created it at the back like that, transformed it. Yeah, you know the drill, and I was done. Artist name, same thing. Before, same thing. Now for the song title, Blood, Sweat and Tears, I used the Bebas Neue font. So how do I say this? I can just create a new layer. No, that will take me time. That will take some time, a long time. So this is the original image I had. So what I did is, like, you can just like rasterize it. So you can just flatten it actually. So, and then you add another layer on top. And then for the source, like, you'll just press I, sample this, and then press B, then enlarge your brush size. So you want this, the whole, like this whole part. Hold on. And then you, before you apply the brush, you just press Command and select this layer. Yeah, so it will, so whatever effect you will apply, it will only work on the selected area. So you brush, right? You brush, and then you lower the size. So you lower the size, and then for the after lowering the size, you go to this color and select the brighter red. You do that, and then you can just now go to this. Yeah, you get something like this, and then you can apply now the bevel and emboss. But this is not what I did. I'm actually tripping. I did this on my previous cover art, which is yet to be released. So you're just saying, yeah, I did this here. So yeah. But for this, I just had the song name. I actually tried that, but it was like, I was like, nah, I'm not satisfied with it. It doesn't look cool. So I went for this. So here, and I added the stroke to it. So here, I'll just show you the effects that I used. I'll show you the settings. Don't ask me where I got them. Don't ask me where I got them. So these are the settings for the bevel and emboss, the drop shadow. You can set it at any angle you want. You can play with it, but these are the settings. And then for the crack, like you can see, it looks like it's cracking out. I used a crack brush, not crack cocaine brush, crack brush. So yeah, this is the brush, bruh. This is the brush. You can see how it looks like. Yeah. And then I duplicated the layer and rasterized it, and then I added stroke to it. So yeah, to make it pop out a little bit more. And yeah, that was not necessary. And added my name at the bottom. Yeah, right there. Yeah. And then of course you can't miss in any cover with the noise layer. So noise layer as usual, solid color, chocolatey, and then filter, noise, add noise, rasterize, set any level you want, set the blending mode to overlay or soft light, whatever you want. Yeah, and I was done with that part. Now for this other part, and I wanted the sky. Now I wanted the sky to be like way deeper, like the color to be more saturated. So I duplicated the image and I applied camera raw filter to the image, to the whole image. So let me show you real quick. So this is a totally different. The client said, bro, you have to switch it up. I don't like how I look here. I want to look badass, so like I had to switch it up. But the main point is I increased the saturation, the vibrance. So yeah, and I actually played with the colors. Yeah, the specific colors, the reds, lowered them. I don't think I did anything else. So and then I masked it. So if you check closely at the sky, this region, when I switch on the layer, it looks way orange. So that's what I did. And then I applied camera raw filter and magic bullets. So I'll switch on the layer for you to see the magic. Right now it looks good, but you need to do some color grading and more adjustment. So yeah, wrong layer. So yeah, this is how it looks now. So the main thing here you can notice, like, it looks way brighter. That's because of the diffusion. So I'll just show you the settings for the camera raw filter first, and then for the diffusion Next. So for the camera raw, these are the settings I used. Actually, I did not do anything here. So for the color, this is the setting I used. For the effects, these are the settings I used. For the detail, these are the settings I used, and I was done. Now to the magic bullets looks. For the MBL, yeah, for the MBL, yeah, use the curves, diffusion, edge softness to blur this region. Warm and cool, it was there but it was slight to make it tint to the to lean on the purple warmer side, because overall I wanted the image to be purple and orange, so warmer. And then I used colorista 3-way. Highlight was yellow, midtone was purple, shadows were orange. So yeah, let me see if I can zoom for you guys to see. So if I switch it off, yeah, it looks ass. But if I switch it on, yeah, if I switch it off, nah, on, yeah. So that's what I did. So yeah, and I was done. I was pretty much done. With it. So let me just show you one more time without the photo looks, without the magic bullet, how it looks. See how it looks mid as hell after applying in BL. Yeah. Let's wait. Yeah, so, and I was done with the cover art, so I'll do more tutorials on these types of cover art. I'm just cooking, I have more to come. Yeah, thank you for watching this video and have a good one. I'll see you next time. Peace.